Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our True Life stream. It's me, Sharleen, gonna guide us through a 60-minute yoga flow today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's Friday. So today we're gonna get started. We're gonna be started standing at the top of our mat. We're gonna probably go through a few sun salutations, adding a little bit at a time to each salute. And then we're gonna, at the end, do some balancing poses and then bring it down to the mat. I always say make sure to have a block or a prop, pillow, maybe you fold some blankets up, put it next to your mat, just to help the mat get closer to you if you can't reach the mat. Always remember, listen to your body, bend at your knees, breathe in and out through your mouth, and let's get started. I'm gonna come to the top. You wanna make sure, spread your toes, lift your toes up off the mat and spread them wide. And then slowly, one toe at a time, grip the mat with your toes. Getting a nice firm stance, grounding into your mat. You wanna tuck through your tailbone, you wanna stand up tall. You don't want our booties out here, you want a nice long spine, pulling your stomach muscles. Bring your hands to prayer, heart center. Don't have your shoulders folded, roll them back. Reach up through the crown of your head. Close your eyes. And just start focusing on your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. The 60 minutes is your 60 minutes, so it's your time to forget about everything else around you and just focus on your mind, your body, your soul. Right here, I always try to say, focus on a word, a color, maybe it's a mantra you're working on. Maybe we're painting that picture. Every day we paint a picture of what we want in life, and maybe today you make an outline of something new. Maybe you're coloring in another part of this picture you see. Whatever it is to help you focus on getting through your yoga practice this afternoon. Every time you breathe in, let your belly fill with air. Every part up to your ribs, let that belly rise, fill it with air. And then when you exhale, pull that belly towards your spine, releasing everything inside. Inhale. And then exhale. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. Slowly start maybe wiggling those toes on the mat. Open your eyes. Inhale, lift your hands up and overhead. Separate them, cactus the arms, back bend, let it go. Inhale, up. And then exhale, we're gonna swan dive forward. Pull that belly towards your spine. Keep that chest out. Bring those fingertips towards the mat. Might be our forward fold of the first day, so you might want to bend your knees, get your belly to rest on your thighs. That helps get your hands closer to the mat, gets them flat onto the mat. Relax your head. Let it hang heavy. Still continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Really letting that spine open up here in your forward fold, your Uttanasana. No tension in the neck. Start pulling that belly closer to your spine and maybe slowly start straightening your legs. Maybe you have that pillow, maybe you have a block, maybe you have those rolled up blankets. Bring them to you. And you can bring the floor up to you, and you can get your legs a little more straight. We're not trying to feel so much a stretch in the back of the legs. What we want to feel is back here on our lower spine. We really want to feel our lower spine opening up. Slowly, we're going to inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. We call it a zombie roll up. So we look like a bunch of zombies coming back from the dead, rolling up. Inhale, bring those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, let it go, back bend. Inhale, up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to work into some full pranayama breaths. So let those fingertips come to the mat. Come high onto those tippy toes. My ankles just cracked. Bend your knees. Squat it down and bring that chin to your chest, your forehead to your knees. Coming into this little yogi ball here. You want to keep your chin tucked towards your chest. You want to keep that forehead to your knees. Pull that belly towards your spine. Squeeze your thighs with your biceps. I'm going to demonstrate it, but I can't talk in it, so I'll come out to finish cueing the rest of the pose. You want to look like this. Stay high onto those tiptoes. Make sure your booty's off of those heels. And if you can't get your forehead to your knees, that's fine. Keep your chin tucked to your chest. You're going to inhale. Lift those hips all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring those heels down to the mat. You're going to zombie roll up, letting those vertebrae stacked one on top of another. Inhale those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Keep that belly towards your spine. You want to protect your psoas muscle when we're coming down. Come high onto those tippy toes. Bend your knees, tuck your chin, let that forehead touch your knees. Really try to pull up through your pelvic floor here, guys. Pull that belly towards your spine. Keep that chin tucked into your chest. Keep those foreheads rested on those knees. Make sure that booty's off of the heels. You don't want your booty resting on your heels. Stay active in this pose. Squeeze your thighs with your biceps. And then inhale, lift those hips, stay high onto the tiptoes, don't come down. Now exhale, drop those heels down to the mat. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, lift those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. One more time, guys. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Keep that belly towards that spine. Come high onto those fingertips, high onto those tiptoes. Bend those knees, squat it down, chin to chest, forehead to your knees. Squeeze those thighs with your biceps. Pull that pelvic floor up, belly towards your spine. One more time. Inhale, lift those hips all the way up to the sky. Drop those heels down. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands continue, pinkies touch up top. Bend those arms, cactus, back bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to do a half lift. On your half lift, you want to bring your hands to your shins. Let your forehead reach to the top of the room. And keep your spine flat. We're going to look like a number 7. So you want to inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Keep that eye gaze in front of those toes, about 6 inches. And then exhale, come down. One more time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, come down. You're going to step back with that right foot. You're going to swing that left foot back to follow. Coming into our first plank, everybody let's drop down to our knees. Let those shins go flat, feet go flat. Coming into a modified plank, you want to make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Spread those fingers wide. Push the mat away. You're going to exhale. You're going to come halfway down. Keep those elbows into your rib cage. Don't let them flare out. Don't let your chest pass your elbows. You've gone too far. Stay right here. Inhale up. And then we're going to exhale, come all the way down, and pull your heart up and through, coming into Cobra pose. Cobra, you want to make sure your thighs are flat onto the mat. Roll these shoulders down and out of your ears. Push the mat away, but keep a micro bend in those elbows. Relax your glutes. Just warming up here before we go into our full chaturanga pose. Tuck your chin into your chest. Tuck your toes behind you. Push back into a tabletop. Lift those knees, let them hover. Push those hips up and back down to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. It's our first down dog of practice today at noon, so maybe you pedal out your legs, bend one knee, then the other. Maybe you shimmy it out. My favorite is lifting one in the air, and then the other. Really just warming up our body. Once you got the wiggles out, go ahead and find some stillness in your down dog. Make sure you're pushing that mat away. Lift up through your hips. And if your feet can't get flat onto the mat, that's okay, guys. Bend those knees. Let those heels hover. Sorry, my shirt keeps on going in my mouth. Breathing in and out through your nose. And then inhale, lift that right foot up. And then you're going to exhale, pull that right knee into your chest. Roll it forward, place it in between your hands. If you cannot pull your knee all the way forward, that's cool. Come back down to down dog. Drop down to your knees. Swing the right foot around. Place it in between your hands. That's the easiest way to do it. It's a modification. If you need to take it, do so. It's okay. Coming into that runner's lunge on that right side, you want to make sure you're pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Make sure your right knee is over your right ankle. Lift up. You don't want to have so much body weight on that thigh, so get light on those fingertips. Look ahead. Roll those shoulders down and back. Place those hands from the foot. Straighten that right leg. Bend it. Straighten it. Bend it. One more time. Just straighten that right leg. Feel that stretch along front of that right ankle. Bend it. Shift that body weight forward. Bring that left foot up to meet the right. Into your Uttanasana. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Pinkies touch. Back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Going into that half lift. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, step back with that left foot. Swing that right foot back to follow. Coming into that plank. Drop down to your knees. Shift that body weight slightly over your wrists. Exhale, halfway down. Hug those elbows in. Inhale up. Exhale, come down and pull that heart up and through to Cobra. Relax your glutes. Really keep a micro bend into those elbows. Bring your chin to your chest. Feel that stretch on the back side of your neck. Rotate that chin all the way over to the right, to your shoulder, trying to find your toes behind you. Slowly bring that chin all the way down and around, all the way to the left. Try to find those toes. Bring your chin back to center. Push back onto your knees. Tuck your toes. Hover your knees and push your hips all the way up and back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Remember breathing in and out through your nose. Down dog is our resting position. So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, you can come back to this position and catch your breath here. Shake your head no, nod a yes. Gonna inhale, lift that left foot up to the sky. Exhale, bring that left knee into your chest, roll it forward, place it in between your hands. If you have to modify, drop down to your knees, swing that left foot around. Make sure that left knee is over your left ankle. You want to make sure you're light on those fingertips. You don't want so much body weight on that thigh, pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Frame that foot. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend that knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend your knee. One more time, inhale, straighten. Hold it just for a moment. Feel that stretch alongside of that left front of your ankle. Should feel really good. Then exhale, bend that knee. Shift the body weight forward. Bring this right foot up to meet the left. Back into Uttanasana. Slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Pinkies touch, bend the elbows, back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. One more time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Step back with that right foot. Swing that left foot to follow. Coming into a high plank here. Setting up for our first chaturanga flow. You want to make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. You don't want your booty hanging down. You don't want your booty up. Try to level off. Your shoulders and your hips should be in alignment. Spread those fingers wide. You're going to exhale, come down halfways. Inhale, come up. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to come down, and we're going to roll over, pulling our heart up and through to Ardha Mukha. Roll over our toes, pulling our heart up and through to Ardha Mukha. Sorry, guys, got tongue-tied. You want to make sure you're rolling those shoulders down and out of your ears. Push through the tops of those feet. Make sure your thighs are off of the mat. You want to really have a nice upward-facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Bring that chin to your chest. Roll those toes over. Lift up through your hips. Push it up and back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward-facing dog. Breathing in and out through your nose. You're going to inhale, working on sun salutation B. Lift that right foot all the way up to the sky. Point the toes. Stack your hips. Don't let your shoulders flare up. Square them off. Don't bend that knee. Just stack your hips. Bring your foot back to hip height. Bring that knee all the way to that right elbow. Pause. Push it back. Exhale, bring it to the left elbow. Pause. Push it back. Exhale, bring that knee into your nose. Roll it forward. Come into a plank. Keep that knee as close as you can to that nose. Release it in between your hands. Make sure that right foot is over that right ankle, setting up on a good lunge here. You want to make sure you're pulling this right hip back, this left hip forward. And if you guys see me sweating, when I got here, the heater wasn't on, but how warm it is outside, it's 97 degrees in here, so it's kind of hot. So sorry if you see the glistening coming down my skin. Breathing here in and out through your nose. Want to make sure you have a good solid foundation. Come high onto those fingertips. Lift up through that back hamstring. Make sure that heel is pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale, bring those hands up and overhead. Coming into this runner's lunge. You could do this all from your knee as well. If you can't hold it up, drop down to that knee. Modify. You're getting the same benefits. Stay right here if you have to. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over your hips. If you're up high, lift up through this back hamstring like if there's a string getting pulled. You don't want to be too much in the future, too much in the past. Stay right here in the present. Roll those shoulders down. Let's challenge you, and only if you can, take that eye gaze all the way up in between those hands. Now bring those hands into prayer over your head. I'm going to slowly drop down to that back knee. Untuck your toes, let that shin go flat. Push down through that top of your foot. Push down through your shin. This should stabilize you. If you're really pushing down, try to intertwine your thighs. So try to squeeze your thighs together. That helps with your balance. Keep your belly towards your spine. Just hold it here. This is all about patience, waiting for the next stage in life. It could be kind of scary, kind of oh, hurry up, let's do this. No, just stay right here and just breathe. Bring your chin to your chest. Bring your belly to your spine, and then we're going to round and curl, bringing your forehead to your knee. Separate your hands for stability, frame your foot, or you could keep them in prayer over that big toe. This is like the beginning pose that we started as a yogi ball, where we want to pull up through our pelvic floor, really pull that belly towards your spine, trying to get your navel to touch your spine, and keep that chin tuck into your chest, and keep your forehead to your knee. This is creating the Mahabandha. It's the great lock. It's like the internal flame in our body. So when you start doing stuff like this, you start sweating more. You'll feel your metabolism will start regulating while coming into these ball poses. We are practicing Deva Namaskar. So we're saluting to the gods and the goddesses. Right now we're on the right side. Just a few more seconds, guys. A few more breaths. We're saluting to the masculine side. So send some light and love to any male in your life that may need it. If you're a male practicing with us, send yourself that little bit of extra love. Bring your hands back into prayer if you separated them. Bring your biceps by your ears. Now remember, squeeze your thighs together. Keep them squeezed together. Keep that chin tucked to your chest. Keep that shin flat on the floor. Inhale, keep the chin tucked. Come all the way up. And then you're going to separate those arms. Exhale, push it forward, back bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale, windmill those hands down. Frame your foot. Tuck your toes, lift up off that back knee. Shift that body weight forward. Left foot up to meet the right. Going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhaling those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Half lift. And then exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Place your hands on the mat. Swing that left foot back. Right to meet. Coming into that high plank. You can modify if you like. Shifting that body weight forward. Hugging the elbows in, halfway down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down and through to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Tuck the chin, lift the hips, push it back to Adho Mukha. Make sure to keep a micro bend in the elbows at all times. Don't want to have locked elbows. You could hurt yourself, strain your muscles. Inhale, lift that right foot up to the sky. point your toes. Point, point, point. Make sure your shoulders are aligned. Don't bend that knee. We're just lifting, stacking the hips. And then bring that foot back down to hip height. You're going to exhale. Bring that left knee, left elbow. Pause. Kick it back. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Pause. Kick it back. Exhale, you want to bring that knee into your nose. Roll it forward. Stay in a high plank. Place that foot in between your hands. Make sure we got to set up on a nice, good, solid runner's lunge on the left side. So put that left knee. Make sure the left knee is over the left ankle. Make sure that left hip is pulling back, right hip is pulling forward. Lift that heel up to the sky. And then inhale, bring those hands up and overhead. Like I said, you could always modify. You could drop down to that back knee if you need to. Make sure your knee is not going over that left toe. It's directly over that left ankle. Don't have your shoulders like I do way up here. Roll them down and out of your ears. Make sure your shoulders are over your hips. And lift up through this hamstring. And then exhale, sit it lower. Stand in this nice long runner's lunge. Want to take that eye gaze, challenge yourself. And if you don't, that's okay. Bring your hands into prayer over your head, and then slowly drop that knee down. Untuck those toes, let that shin go flat. Really get some stability pushing down through this back shin. You want to make sure you push down. That's going to help you with your balance. Make sure you pull that belly towards your spine. Squeeze your thighs together. Bring your chin into your chest. Bring your belly to your spine, and then round and curl, bringing your forehead to your knee. Separate your hands for stability. Or you can keep them in prayer over that toe. Remember, pull up through that pelvic floor. Keep that belly pulled towards your spine. Creating the Mahabandha, the great lock. We are on our left side this time, guys, so we're saluting to the goddesses, our feminine side. So send any sorry, I'm so tongue-tied. Send any light and love to any female in your life. Or if you're a female practicing with us this afternoon, give yourself that little bit of extra love. Couple more breaths here. If you separated your hands, bring them back into prayer in front of that big toe. Keep that chin tucked to your chest, and then we're going to round and curl, coming all the way up. Separate those hands, push those hips forward, back bend, let it go. Inhale your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, windmill those hands down, frame the foot, tuck your toes, lift up. Bring that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. From here, we're going to get to the back of our mat, and how you choose to do so is totally up to you. You could step, walk, or hop back. I always like to cue, if we're going to hop back, make sure you bend your knees as much as you can. Get your belly on your thighs. Don't have your booty up here, have it down. Place those hands firmly on the mat. You want to make sure you're pushing your chest out towards the front of the mat. You want your chest out. you want to make sure you're making your elbows, bend your elbows. And when you jump back, don't jump back into a high plank, jump into your low plank. Bend your elbows, be easy on your joints. If you're going to do that, just simply hop back, inhale up, and then exhale, come all the way down. Everybody comes up and through Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. However you chose to get there, we're all going to meet in downward facing dog. We're going to slowly walk our hands back towards our feet. We're going to go into Parahastasana from the front. So it's hands to foot pose. Make sure you measure 2 fist distance in between your feet. That's hips distance. Bend your knees as much as you can. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Keep your hands flat onto the mat. Relax your head. Shake it no. Nod it yes. And from here, you're going to flip your hands, palms face up, and we're going to step on them with our feet, trying to get our toes to touch our wrist crease. Make sure your knees are still bent. And if you can't do that, that's cool, guys. Keep your hands flat on the mat. Keep them flat on the mat. That's why it's yoga practice. Every day we practice to get better. Some days I can't even do some things that I normally can, and it's okay. Listen to your body. Now slowly start lifting those hips up to the sky. Keep that belly keep your belly pulled in tight. Jeez, I can't talk today. I'm so tongue-tied. Let that head hang heavy. Keep pushing those hips up. And if your legs are straight, maybe slightly shift that body weight into the balls of your feet, but not too much that your heels come up, because you will fall. I know, I've done it before. It was pretty embarrassing. But I learned you don't pick up your heels in this position. Maybe you start pulling those elbows out to the sides of the room, looking between your legs, looking behind you. Affirm to yourself, I move forward in life as I leave the past behind me. Slowly step off those hands. Slowly walk those, leave those hands flat onto the mat. Heel toe your feet together. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Tuck through your tailbone. We're going to go in through a half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Ardha Chandrasana, you want to make sure you're standing up tall. Tuck through your tailbone. Pull your belly in. You want to lift up through your rib cage. Inhale those hands up and overhead. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. A lot of the times we demonstrate this from the front. I'm going to demonstrate it from the back so you guys can see the way your shoulders should stay and your hips in alignment with your back. So stay here. Make sure your heels and toes are touching. Keep those shoulders down and out of your ears. Tuck through that tailbone. Spread those fingers wide. Reach up. We're going to grab our left wrist with our right hand. You want to put our palm facing up. Keep those shoulders down and out of yours. Keep tucking through that tailbone. You're going to inhale, lift up through the rib cage. And then exhale, come over to the right side, bumping your hips out to the left. You want to make sure you're using this right hand to pull this left body over. Trying to get this stretch on this long side of your left side of your body. And you don't want your shoulders like this. You could probably see I'm so off balance. Pull those shoulders together. Keep them stacked on top of each other. Square up. Make sure there's space in between your neck and your chest. You don't want to collapse your chin in. Take a little gaze over that left elbow. It's not how much we're going to the side. It's more of how much of a stretch we could feel. Inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, come a little bit further. Drop that right hand. Keep those heels squared. Keep those heels planted on the mat. Weight distributed evenly between your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Tuck through the tailbone. Grab this right wrist with your left hand, palm face up. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Inhale, lift up through your rib cage. And then exhale, hinge over to the left, bumping those hips out to the right. Remember, guys, try to not come so far down this way. We're really trying to use this arm to pull ourselves over, feeling that stretch all alongside that right side. Should feel a stretch all the way from our heel to our hip, all the way up to our wrist. Remember, don't lean forward, don't go back. Look at the shoulders, keep them stacked. Inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, bring it down a little bit further. Drop that left hand down. Reach over with the right. 2, 1, inhale, back to center. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, up. Exhale, we're gonna swan dive forward, coming back into our Uttanasana, our forward fold. Going into Padahastasana from the back. Right here, bend your knees as much as you need to, get that belly on your thighs. Reach around, grab for opposite wrist, opposite elbows, whatever is easiest for you. And if you've already done this pose and you know where you want to go, if you want to step on those fingertips with your heels, pinkies touching, totally do so. Wherever you're at, wherever your body wants you, relax here. Let your head hang heavy. And slowly start lifting those hips up to the sky. Keep that chin tucked to your chest. Pull that belly up and under your rib cage. Let that head hang heavy. We're in a position where we're looking behind ourselves, just like we started off in Padahastasana from the front. Affirm and say it to yourself. Say it out loud. I move forward in life as I leave the past behind me. Slowly release those hands, and then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders down and back. Tuck through your tailbone. What we're going to go through now is a back bend. It's different ways that we could get into this, put on our hands in different positions. Number one way is to put your hands, pinkies touch, fingertips facing down. Second way, only do this, I can barely do this sometimes, is put my hands flat onto my lower back where my thumbs are touching. But you could already see my hand is kind of already coming off of my back. You want to make sure your hand is nice and flat on your back. Or my favorite, you get your 2 fists and you put them on your lower back. What we're trying to do is not to have our elbows out here to the side. We want our elbows to come behind us and to disappear, rolling those shoulders down and back. Trying to get them as far out of sight as we can. Here you want to tuck through your tailbone. You're lifting up through that rib cage. You want to take that eye gaze, you want to take it all the way up to the ceiling. Boom, right here, you are already in a back bend. This is the beginning stages of a back bend. Make sure your hips are over your ankles, and if you're going to continue to go back, draw that line across the ceiling all the way to the back, all the way to the back. And make sure you're pushing your hips forward. You want to make sure they're going forward. Remember, taking little sips of breath through your nose. Really trying to relax here, really opening up those throat and heart chakras. Slowly start coming all the way up. Bringing that eye gaze to the front of the room, front of your mat, hands to hips. Bring your chin to your chest, flat back, come all the way down. Slowly walk your hands out to the top of the mat. Coming back into that downward facing dog. Breathing in and out through your nose. Look in between your hands. Bend your knees coming into this little rocky dog. Straighten them up. Inhale. Exhale. Come high onto those tiptoes. Bend your knees. Keep your booty up. Inhale. Push it back. Look in between your hands. Bend your knees. Hop, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Coming into Uttanasana. We're going to come all the way up. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And then exhale, bring hands down through heart center. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands down and through heart center. Inhale one more time, hands up, overhead. And exhale, come down to center. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Separate them, roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Spread the fingers wide. Going into Uttanasana, chair pose. Bend those knees, tuck through the tailbone. Pull that belly to your spine, lift up through your chest. Act like you're trying to sit down into a chair. You don't want your butt way out here. You want a nice long spine, like if we are sitting in a chair. Try to pull that tailbone down. Keep that belly tucked to your spine. I'm going to inhale, come up. And then exhale, come right back down. We have 3 sets of these. And you want to pull that body weight into those heels. Lift those toes off the mat. Keep those hands overhead. And if you can't, bring your hands to heart center. Wherever your body needs you to be. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, squat it down. Keep that belly tucked. Come high onto those tippy toes. Shift that body weight forward. Feel your thighs shake. Then inhale, stay high on those tiptoes. Exhale, let it go. Inhale up. One more set. Exhale, push it back. Chair pose, Uttanasana. Keep on pulling that belly to your spine. Tuck through your tailbone. Then inhale, come up. Exhale, sit it right back down. Keep tucking through that tailbone. Lift up through your chest. Lift up your toes, tap them for 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. And then exhale, sit it right back down in that chair. Shift the body weight forward. Come high onto those tiptoes. Feel those legs shake. Drop it down maybe an inch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, one more time, back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Bring those hands to your hips. And we're going to take a quarter turn to the right side. And we're going to take a big step out, coming into a wide-legged stance. Want to make sure your feet are a good length apart. I can't really say everybody's different in their height. I'm really short, so I don't have that big of a stance. It's where your body is. Inhale your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, swan dive forward, pulling that belly into your spine, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Coming into, I know it's wide-legged, looking west stretch. So it's Bikatabata Pashino Tanasana. You can reach to the outer edges of your feet. Try to get your crown of your head closer to the mat. Maybe one day it will touch the mat. Just really get in this intense stretch. You can also reach your hands underneath your legs behind you. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. You're going to bring those hands behind you. Interlace those fingers. Keep them on that lower back. You can stay right here. Or if we want to get this nice shoulder stretch. So let those elbows drop behind you. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Hi. Oh, Ben, I'm recording. I'm live stream. Sorry, guys. A little interruption. Sorry about that. Let's get back into the Zen. So make sure you, if you interlace those fingers over your back, go ahead and drop those hands, if you like, to the front of your mat, to the front of your door. Or, sorry, I have a distraction in the room, so apologize. It interrupted me. Let those hands drop. Trying to really get into those shoulders. We want to stretch our shoulders because the next thing we're going to do is Dandayamana Dhanurasana, which is standing bow pose. So bring those hands back to your lower back. Keep your chin tucked to your chest and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Letting your head be the last to rise so you don't get lightheaded. Now you want to pull your knuckles down towards the mat. Pull those shoulders down and back and lift up through your chest, a little back bend. And come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and bring this left foot back to meet the right. To the back of your mat. Turn, face the front. I'm going to go into standing bow pose. You're at home. You use a wall for this pose as well. You're going to step forward with the left foot. Plant it flat onto the mat. Bend that left knee. Feel this thigh engage. You want to engage through this left thigh. You want to make sure you have some good style engagement there. You don't want to lock out your knee. Keep it bent. You're going to inhale those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, do a little back bend. Inhale up. And then let this left hand fall to your hip. Make sure the palm is facing up and the thumb is towards the back side of your mat. Wait, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. You want to drop the right hand and make sure the right thumb is facing towards the back of the mat. I apologize. Roll that left shoulder down and out of your ear, and then you're slowly going to start shifting that weight into that left foot. Make sure that left thigh is engaged. Staying high onto the right toes. Right here, you're already in the first stages of a standing bow. If you want a little bit more, you want to lift that right foot, bring that heel towards your booty, reach around and grab for the inside of that right ankle, not the outside. You want to make sure you're on the inside. It's going to get more into your back bend, more into your pose. So you want to stay right here, point those toes up. Make sure you pull those knees in. You want to make sure your knees are touched. You want to make sure you have a nice centered body, nice and tight before you go anywhere else. And then you're going to exhale, hinge forward. Let that hand drop about eye gaze. And then start kicking into that back foot. You really want to kick into this backhand. Really try to kick into it. Don't let this front hand pass your eye level. You want to keep it straight in front of you. And if you're at home, you could always come towards the wall, put this hand on the wall, make sure you have enough distance, and then kick into it. And then eventually just start lifting that hand off the wall. And remember, have fun, guys. Balancing poses are challenging, but that's okay. It's about having fun, smile. Try to do it one more time before we go to the other side. Slowly release. Come to center. Hands up, back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Step forward with that right foot. Put a bend in that right knee. Make sure you engage to this right quad. Drop that left. Now we drop the left hand to the left hip, pointing the thumb towards the back of the mat. Shift the body weight forward. Lifting that left foot up. Bring it into your heel. Or bring it into your booty. Heel into the booty. Whew, we're going to talk. Or you can stay right here. That's the beginning stages of a standing bow. If you want to go and fly, make sure you're putting that hand on the inside of that left ankle. If you try to do it on the outside, you're not going to get very far. You want to make sure to put it on the inside, and then you could slowly start dropping into that standing bow pose. Keep that hand at eye gaze. Make sure you have a drishti. Wherever you're at, have fun. Play with it. You could even just stay holding your foot up. Slowly come back to center wherever you're at. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down and through heart center. We're going to go into tree pose. So come back to like the center of your mat, the back of your mat. I'm going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. So make sure in tree pose, you want to roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Stand up nice and tall. Pull that belly towards your spine. And an inhale. And then exhale. Step that right foot out. And then we're going to slide this right foot all the way up and into the middle of our shin, calf area. You can stay high onto your toes here. It's a kickstand. In tree pose, it's not about how high you can get this foot up, how big your branches go. It really is, tree pose is to open up our hips. So you really want to let this right knee fall to the back of your mat. You really want to make sure you're opening up that hip, opening up that leg. And if you want to go a little bit further, you could lift up towards your shin, calf area. And remember to always bypass your knees, and you could pull this right foot all the way up inside of that left thigh. Resting that heel on the inside of that thigh, still letting that right knee fall out towards the back. Make sure you have a micro bend in that left knee. Don't lock out your left knee. And then inhale, let those trees grow, your branches grow. You have one up, one down. Just wherever you're at. If you like to take it into a sundial, you could reach for the big toes with your two fingers, your index and your pointer finger. Grip it and then kick it out into a sundial. Woo! I don't have balance today, but still try it if you like. It's not always about being who could do it the best. It's okay to try, fall out, smile, get right back into it. Bring those hands back to heart center. And slowly bring that knee hip height. Flex the toe towards your face. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Not always about how how good you are at the pose. It's about if you could try it. That's the most thing that you want to do is try everything you can if you want to. Doesn't matter if you fall out. Get right back into it. We're going to step out with that left foot. Bring that left heel into that right shin calf area. And make sure, remember, we're opening up our hips. So let this left knee fall to the back of your mat. Make sure you have a micro bend in that right knee. Then inhale, come up. I always take a couple breaths before I go into the next pose. Always bypass that knee. Never want any pressure on your knee. Could really hurt yourself. And just remember to keep pushing that left knee towards the back. Just breathing in and out through your nose. Grow those branches up and wide. Woo! Then I'm going to try it on this side. If you tried it on your other side, keep your body even. Try to even it out. Let's bring it back. You'll always notice one side's a little bit tighter than the other. Maybe more balanced than one side. Just have fun, smile, laugh. Wherever you're at, bring your hands back to heart center. And then slowly let that foot come off that thigh. Bring that knee hip height. Flex your toes towards your face. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that foot down. Inhale. Lift those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring those hands down and through heart center. Close your eyes, tuck through your tailbone, roll your shoulders down and back. Try to focus on your breath here. Breathing in and out through your nose. Open your eyes. And then slowly take a bow to your standing pose, your standing series. You guys should be really proud of yourselves. We did almost a whole 60-minute standing series flow. That's amazing. Let's come down to our mats. We're going to just come down, lay on our backs, coming into our first Shavasana. Back flat. You want to make sure to roll those shoulders, tuck those shoulder blades underneath your chest. So prop up your chest. Keep this chin slightly tucked into your chest. Let these hands fall to the sides of the room. Close your eyes and just breathe here. Focus on your breath. Let your eyes get heavy. Relax your face. Relax your tongue. Relax your jaw. Right here, try to focus on that word, your color, your mantra, that picture you were painting. Come back to that. Don't let anything else come into your mind. Inhale, bring that right knee into your chest. Exhale, interlace those fingers around that shin and pull that knee closer towards your chest. Flex those toes towards your face. Coming into Pavana Muttasana. We're almost done, guys. This is wind liberation pose. It helps with our digestive system. And then slowly take that right hand, or that left hand, put on that right side of your thigh, and let that right knee come over to the left side of your body. Let that knee touch the mat or the floor, and then slowly let both shoulders fall back to the mat. Reaching that right hand out to the side of the room. Make sure you still flexing those toes on the left leg. Keep a flexed toes so you're not dipping too far in. This is a side belly twist. Let that belly hang heavy. In class, all through class, we were pulling it up and under our rib cage, pulling it in, holding it in. Well, now it's the time. Just let it relax. Let it hang heavy. Two more breaths here. Bring that knee into your chest. Roll it onto your back. Bring that knee into your chest one more time. Interlace those fingers around the shin. Flex the toes towards your face. And then slowly let your fingers go. Bring that left knee up to meet the right. Reach around, grab for opposite elbows or opposite wrists, and pull those knees tighter and closer to your chest. Flex those toes towards your face. Keep that chin tucked into your chest. Just holding yourself here in a tight little ball. Make sure you feel those thighs pushing up against your belly. Slowly release that left, I'm so dyslexic. Release that right foot down towards the mat. Keep those fingers interlaced on that shin, right below your knee. You don't want it above your kneecap. You want it right underneath your kneecap. Flex those toes and pull that knee into your chest. Then slowly take this right hand, grab for that left thigh, and reach around, pulling that left knee all the way down to the mat. Let that knee tap the floor, and then roll back onto your mat, making sure both your shoulders are flat on the mat. Slowly bring that knee into your chest, roll it onto your back. Bring that right knee up to meet the left. Reach around and tuck your chin into your chest. Bring your forehead to your knee. One more tight little yogi ball. And then slowly release. Lift those feet up to the air. And then slowly drop those heels down, slowly, all the way down towards the mat. Coming into this last and final Shavasana. You earned it. You tuned in today. You got your yoga for the week. Maybe just for the day. Maybe you're starting your yoga for the weekend. But just know you tuned in. You lasted the full 60 minutes. Your body will reward you later for it. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Let that tongue fall to the bottom of your mouth. Feeling your belly rise every time you inhale. And then feeling that navel fall all the way towards your spine every time you exhale. This is our last and final pose for class, for practice. So just relax here as much as you need to. I want to thank you for letting me guide you through your yoga practice this afternoon. I'll be back Sunday at 9:30 for a yin yang flow. We'll be holding our poses a little bit longer, not moving so much. Bring your hands up into prayer over your forehead to your third eye. Repeat after me to yourself or out loud. I intuit the truth. Bring your hands to your lips. I speak the truth. And bring your hands to heart center. I am the truth. The love inside of me honors and respects each and every one of you. Namaste. Stay here, like I said, as long as you need. I always say 15 to 20 breaths, deep, long breaths in Shavasana. Or just hang out and take a nap. Whatever you choose. Check our website for other live stream classes. Have a great day. Bye.